I can choose to make excuses and talk shit about every facet of me, or I can show up for every facet of me in each moment. I am in the middle of creating digital art, and I was like, oh, I get to go scratch. In the middle of doing hair also. Yet, I can take 10 minutes to stretch. It is March the 1st, and I have been at a facet of this innate accountability for a moment. I know that this one probably isn't from July, but me doing the handstands on the skateboard definitely started that in last July. I have eternally more balance. My splits are getting eternally closer. Each yay that I choose to not make excuses and to show up for every facet of me. Because I can. It's like, if you refuse to show up for you for that yay at the job that you chose to invest in, that you give your time to, you're not going to get that $100 a day after taxes if you don't choose to show up for that yay. And so for me, I take steps every yay to love every facet of me, to be whom I've been from womb, void of whom I've been taught to be, by the perpetuations and abuses, bully narratives. At no time should you be calling a child a kid. You're talking shift to that child. We say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but... And the cliche of the words will never hurt me. That's a bully abuse conditioning and narrative. Words eternally can hurt. And yet we're not our feelings. It's important to remember how we speak to and about our facets creates matter around us. So no, they're just talking shift to themselves. And you just happen to choose to keep exchanging non-reciprocal energy with that infinite being, and that's why that experience keeps coming up. Don't you get to do more? Don't you want more than what your mama and daddy are living? I want eternally more than what I see around me in each moment. And I require the ability to imagine more, and so I've been given it with my deoxyribonucleic acid. So I keep showing up for me. I want my splits, so each yay, I take moments and practice my splits, the same as you choose to go do your job and say you don't want to pay these bills, but you keep making space to create the bills and pay the bills. I've learned to transmute my bills. And I know that seems unfathomable to infinite beings, yet we each create our own expansive narratives. I didn't want to live in the shift, so I stopped living in the shift. It's truly that simple. And I practice letting go of whatever I need to in each moment, because this is how I thrive. Choosing to experience something new, choosing to remember that I innately grow, shifting, changing with each season. There's that one song that speaks about somebody being fragile. I'm not. I'm eternally strong. I got to transmute somebody in energy's projection to yay, because I'm not weak. And I will never be humble or show low self-esteem or importance of any facet of my being over any person in existence, over any energy in existence. In the infinite creative that created us all in this space, who created our wonder-filled gods and goddesses, which are deities, who created the energies, who created these dogmas, gives me the ability to think for myself. Original thoughts here. Because I don't want to live like you. Every person, every lineage I came from is in dis-ease. They are killing themselves slowly with how they choose to consume in their existence. And that's not me talking shift. They're always at the doctor. They're always on medicine. They're always swollen. I got to experience my swollen facets, and I am so grateful that I came through that stuff with the ability to thrive. My self-healing organism. Our self-healing organism be doing a lot of work for us. And I just realized that it's my actual only job to choose what I'm consuming, what I want, to help my self-healing organism stay optimal so I can create a life where I'm actually paid to breathe and exist, even if that's not what I was taught in perpetuation, because transmutation exists. From a lineage of disease, tumors, surgery, to never being in a hospital ever, to never being sick ever, even though I was fed and taught to be exactly what they were. You can change your life at any moment. Instead of, oh, that's hereditary, choose to consume something different. Even if that means not hanging around those people. Like, you deserve more than speaking some dis-ease into your existence by just throwing up your hands and saying this is the way it is, because that's not the way it is, unless that's the way you want it to be. And I had to remember that that's not the way this is, and that's not the way I want it to be. So, there's my chat. I am still nursing some inflammation because I chose to eat some flour. And it's so funny, I looked in the trash can, I said, what in the cocaine is that? And that lets you know. Oh, and infinite beings will make jokes. Oh, the gluten-free bread, that's extra chemicals that was put into it. And it's not always about the extra chemicals. It's the fact that it's not naturally occurring to your being. So to tell a child that, well, you have that UTI, or this, for any man, for the infinite beings who choose not to circumcise their sons, or who choose to and not teach them anything about sexual experiences, and allow this infinite being to have their skin torn. You allow your son to be hurt because you refuse to do that communicative, introspective plurk. Grateful to you for not harming them as a baby, and yet to meet, for me, a season 38 season year young infinite being out there who thinks that you gave him an STD because he doesn't know how to make sure that there's lubrication so his beautiful skin is not torn in the process. And I only know this because I've experienced, without shame, infinite beings. The TLC song, Girls Talk. I had this brother who was mad at me because I told a homegirl that he wasn't packing. She says she sold the truth, so she really don't give a damn. And yet, that man never said, you got some. And there goes to where you're shaming somebody for existing, for being fed what they were fed, so that their being is how it is, and you're shaming them for existing because it's normalized. And what? Because you think it's cute? Effing wild. And I've never done it. I've had some disgusting sexual experiences, and if I'm not able to communicate with that infinite being, we don't experience that again. But you're not able to tell an infinite being. Folks will be like, it's a portal. I can hit it just like every portal. No, infinite being. I'm an infinite being, and you cannot talk to me as every woman in this existence. What works for another woman does not work for me as a one in infinity infinite being. So, I just get to remember, and there it is. Remembering innately from my deoxyribonucleic acid. And then we just chatted for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I am going to go do some more lines on my art. On my birth creation. It's great that you call it art, but it is my innate creativity. It is my eternally limitless life force. And I'm going to speak to and about every facet of me as I choose. Not as you think that I should. Okay? I love it. I just got the middle babies to do. I did the edges and the back so far. So I'm just going to keep loving and avoid the dogmas and conditionings and use each experience to fertilize my growth, including these. How can I set myself free each day, more and more with my free will? Something I ask. Is that nurturing to every facet of us? Is it reciprocal for me to exchange energy? Is that kind to season 1 me, to 294 season me? Is that going to help my self-healing organism and me thrive innately? Is that full of disease? Do I really want to consume that and create that for my existence for the rest of realities as the lineages before me?